what should they think about when they hear AI for enterprise? Obviously, that's a pretty daunting label, especially for Fortune 500 companies that maybe haven't changed in the last 20 years.
When you're a really large company, right, and you're thinking about how do you take your company to the next level, a large amount of this is pretty margin sensitive, fundamentally, right? And so, of course, if you can get growth, right? But margin, cash on the balance sheet, that really, really matters so that you can go ahead and deliver value for your shareholders and then fundamentally reinvest that into growth. I think the most exciting potential for AI in enterprise companies is how do we go ahead and give enterprise companies software margins, even if they're not software companies, right? And that's going to be one of the most fundamental business transformations, I think, that'll happen over the next coming years.
Isha, for people that are interested in joining Giga, especially on the engineering front, I think I'd be curious to hear in your words why they should be excited to join. When I think about the team today, right, you have engineers from big tech that was like originally like really scrappy startups. You hired an engineer who didn't know a lot of Python, even though that's our code base. You've touched and worked with a ton of different engineers who have a ton of different skill sets. What should an engineer look like in your eyes that would want to join a company like ours?
I've spoken with, I think by now, like probably 1,000, more than 1,000 engineers. And one pattern I observe is that there are people who are motivated by very different things. And I think there are a small percentage of people who are really motivated by the amount of impact they can make on the world. And if you are that kind of a person, Giga is the best place for those people to join to make the most impact in the world. If you think about AI in general, it's going to transform the world, and everyone knows that. And most of the consumers in the world right now majorly interact with B2C companies. They are called B2C for that reason. I mean, I order DoorDash twice a day. People order from Instacart like pretty much, I think, on an average a week. And you probably talk to big telecos like, support, or you interact with them pretty often. And the mission we're on is to transform these companies to being better. And if you want to transform the world and have the most impact as an individual through AI, we are the best place to do that because we transform B2C companies, which majority of the consumers spend most of their time on. And that's not going to change. DoorDash logistics business is not going to change. They will be like one of the most leading food delivery businesses in the country. That's not going to change anytime soon. But what's going to change is consumers interacting with DoorDash will have a better experience because of Giga. If you want to bring that better experience to like millions or potentially hundreds of millions of people, we are the best place to join.
Because it's B2C, right? A lot of the engineers that we've talked with want to see their hard work in action.
Yes.
Right. And when it is B2C, like you instantly feel that impact.
Yes.
Right. Like if you work with a DoorDash, our engineer probably is going to interact with our own AI.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As a DoorDash customer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then be in the loop to resolve an issue maybe that our AI has to like, yes, and make it better. And so it's just like this perfect loop too.
Exactly. Every single person in the team right now is very passionate about what they do. So I think it's kind of magical in a sense. I've worked at other companies before and I've not seen anything like this. And that's not just coming from me. A lot of people tell me the same thing. So
it's just like motivating enough to like, when I want to come work in the office, there is a set of amazing people who are bought in. I just want to get the thing and build the next most impactful thing in the world. The complexity or the problems that we're going are getting more and more ambitious and more bigger, more and more harder, bigger markets, bigger problems, which is incredible.
Customer support in my mind is not glamorous, right?
Yeah,
it's not like a flashy industry. And I would love to hear your viewpoint on like why you think it is really flashy and really cool, because obviously it's so different than it was before.
Because companies try to hide it. A lot of companies are not proud of their customer support. And it's become this thing where people don't show off like, hey, my support is the best in the world. There is very few companies who do that. And the companies who do that also have customer support there is like a big thing. So I think that was partially the reason, because these companies were not capable of building a great support organization. And now with us, my personal North Star metric for every single company is to get them to beyond 95 to 98% resolution rate. And I'm not doing that because it saves a lot of money. And I do that because I genuinely believe it's a better experience to people. And that's the mission of the
Yeah,
company.
it's I don't know how many of you guys have called IRS. I think you might have a yeah.
I
Put it on
have.
hold for like 5 hours, which is
Oh God,
nuts.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just I fundamentally the one of the biggest things I hate about like calls, especially, is hold times. So we're trying to become more of a end-to-end customer experience company where if customer wants to get something done by using a company, it should be as smooth as possible. And we are going into like that direction as a company. How can you give the best experience to any customer who interacts with your business to get the task done? It's a very, very exciting place that we are going after, and support is a part of it.
I'd say it's real too, right? Like those thank yous that we get at the end of
Oh,
some
yeah.
calls
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
someone like says thank you
Oh
like
my
10
God.
times for us it could have been a really trivial problem, but for them it was like mission critical for their day. AI maybe is more human than you realize, that it can help people solve like real problems and like help them like move forward with their day.
There's a 50 minutes call. I think it's a more a 60 minutes call. There's this old lady who got locked out of her account,
Oh no.
and she just keeps going. A helps her reset her email password and Gmail password, and she gets the Gmail, and now she's able to reset her password and she's able to get in. And she was like, "Thank you so much, dear. This really means a lot. You've been so patient with me." It's incredible. Like after 60 minutes, and she was able to like resolve the issue. Yeah.
Or like when the AI wasn't trained on how to solve that exact
Yeah.
issue,
Yes.
but like knows how to navigate the paths to get to
Yeah.
the right solution.
That's one of the most tricky problems we have, in the sense that where does it need to fall? You want it to not go to beyond like what you tell it to do, but at the same time you want it to have its own like freedom. And I think like as people learn more and more, they would be willing to give more and more freedom to the AI. But that's one of the more interesting ones we have.
You know, I think this is the first time like we've like kind of broadcasted
Yeah.
like your story,
Yeah.
right? Like where you guys came from, where we are now. I think it's really special that like a lot of the world will get to hear this. Equally important though, Varun, what do you want potential customers to be thinking about? What's next for Giga?
We genuinely want the next $1 trillion company to be built on top of Giga. We want the entire company's operations, things can be a lot more efficient on Giga. That's one side of things. We want a lot of massive enterprises, their entire ops hours, to run on top of Giga, making customer experience a lot more delightful.
Next thing is we go back to work.